Right, I'm gonna shoot straight with this. I was really happy to see the Muppets Mayhem getting rave reviews. After having reserved expectations, I was suddenly quite looking forward to it. Then release day came and I managed to catch episodes 1 to 4 around work and really enjoyed it. So much so that I scheduled a post on the channel about how this was the best Muppets we've had in ages and was genuinely entertaining to watch. The characters felt real and fleshed out, with a decent story and some great recognisable music that just gave off the right vibe. Then, I don't know what happened, but I watched episode 5 the next day, and the story became contrived. Some of the acting was not good, and the jokes didn't land. I was so disturbed by this sudden whiplash that I deleted the post, and unfortunately the series never really recovers. This is just looking at it as a TV series that people would want to watch, which I think it just isn't by the end, despite the Muppets themselves being on top form. So let's break the whole thing down, and hopefully you can see what I mean. So episode 1 got a great opening showing the band. The jump cut to Nora is ironic because it feels like, this is what you want to see, right? This is what you're gonna get.
FYI, it's not part of every day, it's party every day.
No way, you can't rock and roll all night and then proceed to party all day.
This one interaction sums up a character this entire series. The guy points out she's singing the lyrics wrong, but she then tells him he's wrong, even though he is in fact correct. Which, as far as character introductions go, make her look like a stuck-up idiot.
I'm an exec at a music label.
Considering that was also a lie. This was genuinely surprising and funny, but this is pretty much the only other Muppet that we see in the series. Love the use of archive footage from the Muppet Show and the band's real-life performances. Nice to have a full classic feel intro. I like this guy, a likeable character with lots of enthusiasm.
First rack of ribs is on me, and for Janice, vegan ribs, they're supposed to be just okay.
And good comedy timing.
Nora?
Right.
Nora!
What's happening?
Nora.
Animal is just infatuated by Nora for seemingly no reason. I don't know if this is just the modern equivalent of him shouting woman and lunging at her. The series really gets the Muppets right, like these are genuinely funny moments.
It truly is the greatest achievement of my lifetime.
It doesn't exist. There is no album.
Well, then it is the greatest disappointment of my lifetime.
The start of 420 references.
$420,000?
Whoa, that's a big number.
I love that they embrace that the Mayhem are basically stoners.
Mr. Zutowski?
Zoot's full name is Zutowski.
I gotta get home and do a live stream makeover challenge.
Okay.
So you've got the social media star sister live streaming, because they need to be relevant apparently, and talking about their childhood. And I've noted down here, human stuff meh, because it's not very compelling.
Hi.
The Mayhem telling Nora they're crashing at her friends and then turning up at the door is amazing. The social media graphics from Muppets Now return. Yay! 8 million views on a live stream. This Hannah's got to be this world's answer to T-Series. I just want to point out how unsaturated the whole series is. This is another thing that's popular with modern shows, but it just looks washed out and a bit colourless.
Oh, hey, newbie, what's up?
You tell me, what is all this?
Oh, this is a classic Mayhem kickback. Yeah, welcome to the entourage.
No, I'm not a super fan. I work in music.
Who doesn't?
This interaction between Moog and Nora sums up their relationship for the whole series. Why does she wear glasses in this one scene?
Bless you.
Love the detail of Janice sneezing here that comes into the story later.
Can you picture that?
That one song from the Muppet movie. This sequence features awful and unnecessary CGI. The bubbles look terrible and distract from the scene. More to the point, why didn't they just make actual bubbles? Or just not include any at all? Either of these would have been preferable options.
I'm done. Wow.
20 minutes in and Nora has given up on the Mayhem. Hannah points out that Nora is in no position to judge anyone.
Nora, you're an assistant. Can you even fire people?
Then tells us how Nora is such a great sister. Perhaps show her being a good sister. Love the characterization of the Mayhem not sticking to plans, and that's why they've never made an album, because they're easily distracted going on road trips and stuff. It seems very in line with the characters and actual rock bands.
Disney Plus is gonna love this!
A genuinely surprising fourth wall break there. I saw that in the trailer but assumed it was just for the trailer. Love the use of Polaroids and that kind of 80s aesthetic. I have never seen credits move as fast in my life. Episode 2.
Shout out to Moog, who apparently lives here now.
I love the self-awareness of that and that Moog is just there. It's got this great aesthetic throughout of the 70s and 80s and how the Mayhem are sort of stuck in that time period, which I love. So you've got them playing Pong here on a CRT TV, which is perfect.
Not to mention that all of today's biggest producers are hitting me up begging me to work with you guys.
Nora comes in and lies to the band again, which seems redundant. Like, the Mayhem clearly do not care if she's a huge producer or not. Like, it's her that's trying to convince them to make the album in the first place. I do like the premise of Nora lying to get into the industry because
Bold-faced lies are the backbone of the entertainment industry.
But the fact that Moog then literally says,
This is the one band who loves everybody no matter who they are. You don't have to lie.
and yet she ignores him and continues to lie, just makes her seem really rude and generally sort of awkward for little to no reason. I know it's a theme of the episode, but watching a character lie for a minute straight does not make them very likable.
Hey, Smushy!
Wow, JJ, you look,
Chiseled, swaggy.
JJ is clearly supposed to be self-obsessed and dislikable, though after watching the entire series I'm still confused as to what this character is supposed to be.
I'm focused more on the tech money side with my streaming app.
Oh,
You and JJ used to be all kissy face.
I can see why, they have very similar values.
seriously? I leave them to work and they throw another party?
Hey, you're doing it your way, they're doing it theirs.
Literal party pooper. This is somehow the most Muppet feeling and ridiculous original thing in the series, which is that Janice is allergic to lies. I love not only that Janice has been sneezing in the background throughout the episodes, but the realization that this is actually what is happening is hilarious.
Lies!
Janice is literally dying, Moog's trying to cover for her, and she's still continuing to lie. What the hell?
Hi.
Animal and the Goat is amazing. You have no idea of the relief when I realised that this was supposed to be a green screen within the show and not the actual effects, because believe me, there's not an awful lot of difference.
Some rando private jet company just slid into my DMs offering me a free flight to Bali if I post about it.
I think I'm allergic to this trying to be trendy social media stuff.
Okay, just promise me you'll introduce me to him when you two are making hit records.
Deal.
I'm confused at the super successful social media megastar sister asking Nora to introduce her to a celebrity.
I just need like a minute or two of your time. Cramp. I'm going down. I'm dying. Oh, I'm dying.
This is not good.
Darren! Forgot Darren!
Immediately redeemed by Animal and Darren the Goat.
Zed!
You two know each other?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I go way back with the Mayhem.
I love that the band just knows every celebrity. Like, if Nora had just talked to them, she'd know this too.
Bye, Darren!
You can't just let it go!
Animal just releasing a goat into the wild is one of the funniest things in the show. Muppets Now flashbacks. Janice is now actually dying of lies in hospital, which is hilarious, but also really messed up on Nora's part.
This is all Mork's fault.
I adore Zoot being completely out of touch with reality for the whole series.
It's Moog, and again, I am so sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Moog is still taking the hits for this, so she just admitted the lies but is still angry with everyone. Thanks, Moog.
Growing up was complicated. Okay, my mom was a hot mess, and after my dad was gone, I had to take care of my little sister, and it's...
Yeah, because your dad being gone and mother being a mess makes you a compulsive liar?
But I see your true colors shining through.
Great cover of a banging tune, amazing colourful aesthetic. This is what I want out of an Electric Mayhem show.
And I see your true colors shining through.
I love the covers of popular songs being used to transition the show. It works really well and I wish we saw it happen more often. How is the goat back?
Wow. As much as I love a green screen, this is something you can't fake.
This is so ironic as I'm pretty certain this is indeed a green screen.
Oh. Mana.
Mana mana. So now on to episode 3.
Shut up. Wait, you remember me? Cool. Wait, do I get a dope handshake too? I don't remember something like this, with a little finger, a little elbow. What's that?
Zed's reaction to Nora here is pretty relatable. I love this sequence because it's a perfect summary of modern music. You know, all the separate performances just mixed together and auto-tuned in a recording studio.
I left my sax at home.
Perfect comedy timing from Zoot. He got the most laughs overall. Another favourite moment from the series is Animal overhearing the band saying there's no need for him, out of context, and then going completely rogue.
Don't worry, we'll pay you back for that.
It's $80,000.
We will not be paying you back for that.
Amazing. See, this stuff works great when they use practical effects.
Okay, enough about your dumb app, okay? First, you tried to buy Waxtown Records, and now you're crashing my recording session, claiming you know Zed.
If he's the creator of a highly successful streaming app, why is it so hard to believe he'd know Zed? I love Moog's enthusiasm bouncing off the Muppets here. Love the plot of Animal going missing, and of course Zoot.
Hey, where's Animal?
The scenes between Animal and the voice of Sonic at the job centre are amazing.
Hospitality industry, does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Are you just blindly agreeing with everything I say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Janice being a spirit-cleansing psychic woman is perfect.
And I was like, I must heal you.
Wait, you were with Zed? You promised you'd introduce me.
That was your takeaway?
Okay, whatever. It's fine.
And the domestic, great. You can see a clear divide now of what's good and bad about the series, I think.
Oh, you are a jealous, resentful person.
And you are a shallow, self-centered opportunist.
Neither are really wrong.
I'll be the person on the other line.
Okay.
Here we go. Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, I'm looking for Gus.
Gus?
Yes, Gus. Me.
Gus!
No, I'm right here.
Gus not here. Bye-bye.
Blew it.
Ring, ring, ring.
Nope. This is going great.
I still love this with the no, this is Patrick vibes.
Leave a message after the beep. Unless it's my sister, then you can go beep yourself.
Savage. Classic Mayhem vibes here. Looking for Animal brings them all together. And shout out to Zoot realising Blockbuster went bust.
Did you hear they closed the Blockbuster in Van Nuys?
Love the sentiment that this modern remix doesn't feel like them, so they just give Zed the song, which shows that they really do not give a beep.
Animal pivoting. What about an exciting career in the food service industry?
Yeah, okay.
Animal raging at the mention of a rock band and then cutting to him working as a chef is all just perfect.
Also, real quick, are you living in your car?
No, I'm not living in my car.
Wasn't the whole message of the previous episode to stop lying?
Oh no, he's crying.
I don't think I was coming back.
Wait, why is he crying?
What'd you say? What do you mean I come back? You said he come back.
He will go away. Where did he go? I will never come. Why did he come back?
Teeth breaking down in tears at the wheel along with the rest of the band is amazing.
Like maybe he's hurt.
Maybe he's in jail.
Maybe he did.
I just lost the plot at this point.
You've been taking care of animals since he was a baby?
Yeah, I've always been responsible for Animal. Always.
New law that Floyd has taken care of animals since he was a baby. It's here Nora actually has a purpose for the first time as she keeps the band on the right track.
Remember this one? A feeling small.
Baby song.
That's right.
I love this characterization of Floyd and his bond with Animal. Adore this flashback sequence, it's a perfect way to build up the characters, and I love that the note just says, keep. They then try to draw parallels to Nora here, but it just feels like a bit of a stretch. Episode 4. They uncover an abandoned recording studio that has a VCR TV and VHS tapes of The Muppet Show ready and loaded. Nice. Also, 2011 film vibes. Animal coming through the floor is good in concept, but looks off here. Plus, JJ doesn't react until a few seconds after it happens.
JJ, back!
Whoa, that thing's coming to the floor.
Nora wants the band to do trendy K-pop and stuff because popular and trendy.
K-pop, modern pop, folk pop, country pop.
But once again, you're left rooting for Moog, who's a big fan of the Mayhem and understands their material, whilst Nora is just holding them all back by making them something they're not. Very reminiscent of the Muppets as a brand recently. Then on top of that, Nora effectively fires Moog, who's not even working for them. He's just devoted loads of time to helping them out, which is an awful thing to do, but also frustrating to watch, as he should just be the record producer at this rate. Those are some loyal 8 million viewers that tune into every one of Hannah's live streams.
Hey guys, look! I got a fork!
Hey, you did it!
See? If you look past their blind enthusiasm, you could tell that they're just like, what?
It's a really good observation of something that has always been the case with these characters.
Sorry, but there's no therapy in the world that'll get me to admit that I still need Nora in my life.
This sister domestic is still going on, and I'm not really rooting for either of them.
My life's mission is to focus on everyone else's problems instead of like my own, so maybe just zip it and stay in your lane. Okay, love you, bye.
Love how they've given the band members these characteristics and backstories.
That was close.
I'll see. Now, where was we, Twinkles?
This is mildly disturbing, which is a shame, as, you know, she was this comedic, grouchy old woman, but they sort of made her this love interest thing halfway through, which is just a bit weird.
No, Moog, listen to me, okay? You are not making this album with us. All you are is some loud clapping super groupie who lives in a rented trailer in the driveway.
Nora is unnecessarily awful to Moog once again. It's a miracle he's still here.
You actually think you know what's best for this band?
More than you?
Moog spitting facts. This would be some compelling drama if Nora was like the villain and Moog was the protagonist, but instead we're supposed to be rooting for her as the main character. Like, she's just unpleasant to watch at this point. Nora finally listens to Moog's demo and surprise, surprise, it's good. She then watches all the old VHS tapes which are of actual Muppet performances, which is tremendous. I tried to read all of the labels we could see on screen, and you've got Electric Mayhem Outside Lands Fest, Mayhem Rockefeller Center, New York City, Muppet Show Mark Hamill / Luke Skywalker episode, Mayhem Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Muppets at Walt Disney World, Muppet Show Paul Simon episode, and Muppets Take the O2 Arena. And once again, these are all actual shows that have been played live in real life, so really cool. And of course, another 420 reference in there.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Now this is more like it, a banging tune overlaid with classic Muppet performances. Perfection.
You spent a lifetime making music with your friends.
Yep. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
This is a great analogy of not only the Electric Mayhem as a band, but also Jim Henson and co. behind the scenes.
Actually, it's not a picture of you and your sister. It's me in mine.
This was actually a cool moment for Janice that subverted expectations, as it wasn't just family pictures of Nora or something, revealing that she has a long-lost sister in a bid to help Hannah, whilst providing some interesting background on the character.
For sure.
Yeah, the cover of God Only Knows playing over these character moments was the perfect way to end the episode. But then it cuts away from that and we get these random rock music transitions that gives a cheap Disney Channel sort of vibe, if you know what I mean.
It seems there is no new stuff.
It's a work in progress.
Overacting. Episode 5. You might notice a tonal shift here, and that's because this is the point in the series where everything goes downhill. So at the start, the premise of them holding back headbanging to rock is funny, but the execution of them just doing it isn't really. Whilst the band are trying to make the songs, I can relate to the aspect of them only being able to come up with beginnings and middles and ends on their own, but just playing said segments doesn't come across as comedic.
And this one? And also this.
I like Moog's breakdown of all the band's traits and the thought behind that.
You know, as you can see, Dr. Teeth can't commit to anything, and Floyd is just a perfectionist.
I also like the concept of going under the stars to cook up ideas for a song as opposed to just being stuck in a studio. Animal shouts the word road trip repeatedly.
Road trip! Road trip! Road trip, road trip, road trip! Road trip, road trip, road trip! Yeah, he really likes road trips.
It's gonna be a long drive.
I just don't know what happened this episode, but the Muppets especially seem so dumbed down, and I don't think I laughed once.
'Cause you got bubkiss.
Not true. No, I mean, the band, they've got this song about a guy named Johnny Ragsdale.
Nora lies again. JJ then goes along with this lie because he wants to get back with her, I think. Once again confused as to what this character is supposed to be.
Bad! Whoa, really? You brought the guard dog?
Yeah, this was funny the first time, but they just do it over and over again.
Good!
No, he's not helping us.
Bad!
Smush, I've been helping you since moment one.
Good!
And again, it's just so dumbed down. There's no comedic timing, it's just repeating the same things over and over.
Admittedly, don't know how to feel about you right now.
They've obviously made the decision to make this character's intentions confusing, but why? Like, by the end of the show, I still couldn't tell you if he's meant to be a good guy or a bad guy. Animal shouts the word road trip many times in a row, once again.
Road trip! Road trip, road trip, road trip!
What if I go first?
Wait, really? Were you just gonna unpack your deepest failures and fears just like right in front of us?
I'm sure she's told us her unfortunate backstory multiple times already.
Is it too much to ask to just want to spread my wings and fly?
What is happening here?
For I am a falconer, like my father before me.
Yeah, this is rock bottom. What is going on?
His name was Parvesh, and I am his daughter.
Physically painful to watch. I think it's fair to say the acting is awful, but aside from that, I have no idea what this script is trying to tell us. It then transpires that the marshmallows they found were from the 90s, and they essentially all have a drug trip, which is funny in concept, I think, on paper, but after being subject to this, I just want to curl up into a ball and cry. It dawned on me at this point that drug trip equals hallucinations, which equals bad VFX. Lips has eyes, but once again distracted by the awful effects. Like, I know it's supposed to be an hallucination, but this is animated looking and not realistic at all. Now there's just stuff happening and none of it's coherent or funny. I loved the animal flashback, and now they've ruined it.
You're quite the nurturer, aren't you? Just like our dear friend Nora.
Nora.
This is a cool cameo in concept, but just doesn't look very good. And the thing is with all of these celebrity cameos is that most of them aren't actors, in addition to the main cast already being like Disney Channel level actors, so you end up with this cheap feeling overall.
By convincing me to take back the Pride Lands and reclaim my rightful place on the throne?
No. That's Lion King.
I mean, this is literally a Lion King reference, which I love, but by the end, it's like, okay, I get it, it's a Lion King reference. Claymation Dr. Teeth Fever Dream is, once again, conceptually cool, but comes across as like a cheap Robot Chicken level animation. Even Zoot loses his charm in this episode, just saying the same thing like 5 times, which is a recurrent theme in this episode. Why? So Moog starts turning into JJ, and I am so confused at what they're getting at with this flying wing thing and JJ on top of all that. It's just a complete mess.
It's time to fly.
Oh boy. Alright.
For the love of God, please stop. Then they create an original song from these drug-induced visions. So the message is, do drugs. The one clever and funny thing the episode does is having Zoot look over the photos he took earlier and they actually include the hallucinations, which makes no sense but feels very Muppet-like. Teeth then proposes to the old woman, but once again just... what? So the episode ends with, look, all the band have solved their problems now, and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? Like, I know part of it was meant to be a drug trip, but my god that was bad. If you haven't noticed, this is when I made the decision to delete the post praising the series out of just pure humiliation and embarrassment as to what the hell this is. Episode 6.
He's also a fully licensed and accredited doctor of teeth.
Dr. Teeth being an actual doctor is somehow a surprise. Once again, nice to have a flashback to see how we met Floyd.
One time it was a majority of the arts.
Oh, wow, that was like such a wild time. The naughty oddies.
In-universe explanation for why the Muppets didn't perform a lot during the early 2000s. Nice.
Nora.
Yup, that's her name.
Nora.
Yeah, we got her back, you and me.
Nora.
Why are all of the characters infatuated by Nora for seemingly no reason?
All aboard, Junior! Oh, are you fraternizing with that music hooligan again?
I love the stereotype of Teeth's controlling mother being appalled by his love of music, and the dad just agreeing to everything in fear of it.
Nora.
Oh wow, your hand's on my heart now.
Nora.
Okay.
Yeah, this is getting tedious now.
Yep, I see the problem.
What's that?
You ain't got no teeth.
Oh.
Amazing.
Nora.
Oh god, not again.
Pain.
Can you picture that?
Origin of Can You Picture That? Nice to see the foreman of the band in flashback, though this doesn't show how Lips, Janice and Zoot got there. Best part of the episode is how the dad just said, yup, to the mother all the time, but at the end does this heartwarming speech and the mother just responds, yep, that was amazingly done.
Looking out here today, it's clear. You've been bringing millions of smiles to people for a long time.
Again, I'm skipping over a lot of this because it's just the Nora stuff, and as soon as something gets interesting, they just throw that in. Episode 7, so documentary style, and considering Lily Singh was a big YouTuber, you'd have thought she'd at least be good at presenting stuff, but I do love that. Anything involving graphic overlays and such just looks bad, so it would be better off if they just didn't use them. I did notice Tell Lips he's adopted written there. What the hell? The camera work here is reminding us of the ABC series.
Yeah, but anything to help Nora.
Great, what do you have on Animal?
We now have this wonderful thing of Moog and JJ competing for Nora when she's pretty much treated them both awfully.
Bunny? Good?
Bunny!
Yeah, that's right.
JJ gives Animal bunnies and then he's forgiven, I guess. Incessant screaming for a prolonged period of time is not funny. Although I have little interest in these human subplots, Nora's sister has treated Moog nicer than Nora ever has. It's a wonder they don't get together, but instead they just discuss how awesome Nora is. Back to this relationship thing, and it's like, JJ's a stuck-up business person. So is she, to be honest, so they're more than welcome to each other. I'm not even rooting for Moog at this point, because this woman has treated him like crap for the entire series. So like, what are you doing, man? Origin of the band's name. This old woman was apparently there the whole time. This does strike us as a bit strange, but whatever. The band actually managed to fall out over something, thanks to the humans squabbling over Nora.
Bunny? What? Oh, Bunny make more bunny!
Enough said.
Actually, it's me, Morgan Freeman.
You got the part, Marvin?
Morgan Freeman as Zoot is probably the most impressive cameo in this thing.
Well, it was all just an excuse to get close to you.
More domestics.
Okay, why is this about me all of a sudden? This is supposed to be about the band.
I couldn't agree more. The band is officially renamed to just the Electric Mayhem, which kinda streamlines it if anything. Peter Jackson cameo. Genuinely didn't recognise him at first. It's been ages since I've seen him, and he looks different. And now, episode 8. So, oh god. The bio for episode 8 reads, "The band play a virtual video game concert, and a shiver of fear went down my spine." And yes, this is possibly worse than the drug episode. Any recent Muppets project seems obsessed with bringing them into the social media age, and it's really not necessary. The ABC series, Muppets Now, Haunted Mansion, this always forms the cringiest parts of each because they're desperate to be hip and trendy, when they should just embrace the fact that they're not.
But welcome to the digital age.
Whoa.
There you go.
What the?
For you, that's actually his, okay?
What?
So JJ gives them all smartphones to bring them into the digital age, and run-of-the-mill jokes such as, "It's in the cloud," looks up at the sky, and Dr. Teeth opens Twitter and just has an account already.
Done.
And when he tweets, everyone knows somehow.
And now the word is out and people will come.
Did the band just say tweet?
It's just such a poor grasp of what social media is.
More like Hanimal.
Hanimal, isn't that like a ship thing?
The instant gratification is a hit of sheer dopamine surging through my cranium. I am sold.
I do like the self-awareness that the internet is bad, but despite this, we have to endure it for the rest of the series. I do think Dr. Teeth having his made-up words auto-corrected in a tweet and offending every other music artist is conceptually really funny, but the execution is unfortunately just cringy and awful. So, because of this offensive tweet, several cars ambush them on the road, each containing die-hard fans of each musician they offended. Once again, I think on paper this could have worked, but my god, this woman's expression screams bad acting a mile away before she even says anything.
And our vengeance shall be swift. Mayhem, come out to play.
Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just dying of cringe on the floor.
Like, how do they even know where to find us?
It's the phones, man. I told you they track us.
The Muppet performers are by far the most experienced and natural actors here, and it's honestly impressive that they basically hold together the scene. Stop overacting. Then from this we cut to Animal against a green screen with pop music. I really can't catch a break this episode.
Yeah, and because of that tweet, you got invited to play a virtual concert in Minecraft.
How did they even have the rights to... Anyway, the van has been stolen and friend kidnapped. How does playing a concert in Minecraft remedy that? So, at this point I'm looking at Moog and thinking, mate, you can't let this happen, right?
Smushy?
Sorry, didn't realize you were awake.
Hardly surprising when you're literally blasting a video right next to her.
Okay, and what happened to Betty?
The last I heard, she's now a lonely old bag lady who lives under a bridge in Paramus. Nighty night.
A good Janice moment. As with any dealings with social media in this show, I'm not sure this is how a virtual concert in Minecraft would work. It's making us convulse just saying that in a sentence.
Put your blocky hands together to welcome the Electric
Mayhem.
Sweet mother of God. So, it's this strange animation that isn't really Minecraft, and then TNT gets thrown at them from the crowd, and it plays that music from the X Factor as a storm happens in the game. And then we have to hear that awful acting from the same Taylor Swift fan, combined with the hideous Minecraft visuals, and this is just surreal, but not in a good way.
Fall in, Swifties. Let's knock their blocks off.
So, the fans have apparently joined the game and proceed to attack them. This would never happen. Then the people watching this in real life react in utter horror as if it's real. Like, just leave the game.
Pull the plug.
What plug?
bug? That's not how it works.
Well, of course it is. It's an online game. Just turn it off. They then change the track to what JJ suggested, and a rainbow comes out which hits all the players and makes them all cheer. I have no idea. I would love to just forget it ever happened, but unfortunately this forms the last song they need to make the album, so it's almost like the culmination of the series, and oh my god.
I've started my own channel where I get to try hot stuff with my hot stuff.
That would be me.
I'm now at a stage where I hate this online stuff, and I hate this strange relationship Teeth has going on. Watching the Mayhem be addicted to phones is painfully unfunny, but mostly just painful, as you've got these happy childhood Muppet characters being addicted to social media, which is a very real problem that isn't going away, and that's just depressing.
The Hollywood Bowl just called, okay? They saw the virtual concert and they just offered the band the real deal!
This would not happen. Episode 9, I'm just gonna summarise this, but the band all become social media influencers and were subject to Animal being poorly edited onto a social media overlay and saying the word TikTok over and over again because that's funny. This video is apparently 10 hours long. They really need to up the game with these graphic overlays, or just don't use them at all. Nora has literally destroyed the band, but claims it's because of her they're successful.
The band is on fire right now, okay? I mean, Penny and Teeth are YouTube superstars. Animals trending on TikTok. Lips is using the internet to literally change the world, and I'm pretty sure Janice is a cult leader by complete accident. So yeah, the band is blowing up because of me.
We're nearly at the end of the series, and this character is even more insufferable. Like, she has learnt nothing. Moog is just a mood. He's done. I was done at this point too. The band then break up on a podcast, and it's all Nora's fault. Then Animal has TikTok withdrawal symptoms, and it's like, haha, funny, but this is a really serious issue in the real world. So this is just sad and depressing to watch.
And now he's going through withdrawal.
Tick, tack, tick, tack, tick.
Social media is just shallow and pointless.
Did you really not realize this until right now?
Nora has literally been promoting the use of social media throughout the series.
I'm deleting all of these stupid accounts, yours and mine, if we can finally be free.
Whoa, wait, isn't that like her entire career and all of her income gone?
Zoot threw away his camera and his pictures.
Yeah, Zoot's gone digital.
This is awful to watch. Yes, you've demonstrated very slowly that technology and social media is generally bad. Now, can we just get back to normal, please? Thankfully, I felt a weight lift off my chest as we get the Elton John episode of The Muppet Show on a VHS player, finally bringing back that old school vibe missing from the second half of the series.
The band was perfect, just being the Mayhem. No phones, no goals, just music and each other.
Finally, Nora says something I can agree with. And then it becomes about her again, and that she came from a broken home, if anyone remembers. Now she goes back to Moog after treating him like crap the entire series because, once again, she was wrong. I was literally expecting him to tell her to do one here, but of course he agrees to help clean up all this mess. Episode 10. Now each band member has gone off doing their own thing thanks to the social media addiction malarkey. So Moog and Nora are trying to track them all down to get the band back together, and yes, this is the plot of 2011's The Muppets.
You need to schedule a proper appointment with Mr. Pepper.
An appointment? That's weird.
This is literally word for word The Muppets. Janice is some weird spiritual figure to all of these internet followers still. Zoot's a renowned artist from posting pictures on Instagram. Dr. Teeth is just on a honeymoon with the old lady. Yeah.
Well, what about that, you? That not only the band was in them, we could do it in our lifetime.
I'd say the one funny part of all this is Lips doing a TED Talk.
He's on a mission to save the world.
They keep repeating this, but define saving the world. Ultimately, getting them back together doesn't work, so Nora just gives up and leaves. Again. Animal then goes and tells all the band that Nora is gone by repeatedly shouting, "Nora gone." This apparently brings them back together, though funnily enough, when he says this, Floyd just nods and smiles in response.
Nora! Gone!
Oh, Nora! I like her!
Why? So, to clarify, the band all went their separate ways, never intending to contact each other again, they were just done. But the fact that Nora is gone somehow brings them back together. They've all been gone from each other, who they've known a lot longer than Nora.
Let's mobilize and socialize!
Then Bulladact and you will be there.
Perfect, Lips. You use your connections, and I'll alert the Frasherlians.
TikTok!
I'm sorry, this is awful. Didn't the last episode just show us the harrowing effects social media had on the band, and now they're making a U-turn and trying to make it all positive? What the hell kind of a message is that?
Well, we'll let the music lead the way.
Yeah, I don't think music works like that.
Not normally, but then again, we ain't normal.
A good line, travel by map vibes. The original Electric Mayhem bus from the Muppet movie in 1979. Nice one, but unfortunately it's too late to save the series. Now we finally get to watch the Mayhem perform at the Hollywood Bowl, never mind they make it all about Nora. We then just cut to a montage of Nora looking generally miffed and annoyed at the band for like a minute in what ends up looking like a Disney Channel sitcom intro, if you know what I mean.
Just like a waking dream, your voice came and changed the scene, and all at once I knew 1 and 1 is more than 2.
For a second I got chills at the Electric Mayhem in what seems like an actual concert, but then they cut to shots of the friggin' internet weirdos in the crowd, and I'm so confused as to what that's supposed to mean. Then we get these random choir singers dancing around, which somehow makes it more cringy, and can't we just have the Mayhem perform a song on their own for like a minute, please?
Oh, terrible! Get off the stage! Amateurs! We're awful!
Excuse me, gentlemen. But these aren't the seats.
Statler and Waldorf cameo. I was so far removed at this point, you sort of forget it's a Muppet thing, but I have never related to them so much. Ooh, great rotoscoping. That's the actual album that they released on vinyl, which is really cool.
You're with the band.
Being with the band and that are two totally different things.
There's us taking Manhattan.
Muppets Take Manhattan reference.
Disney Plus is gonna love this. Bye-bye!
Wait, that's the same voice clip from the end of the first episode. Is that a mistake? So, the Muppets Mayhem somehow simultaneously provides the best and worst Muppets content we've had in years. There's a good foundation with that 70s, 80s vibe. I think how they characterised the band was perfect, and when we got to see them perform, that was great. Canonising all of those real life performances and acknowledging episodes of The Muppet Show just felt right and was great world building. Lips' new voice was brilliant, and he's made so much more memorable here. Animal was great in those early episodes where he leaves the band and tries to get a job. You know, that shows he has character. Whereas the later episodes did the opposite by having him just shout things over and over again. Baby Animal was a great addition to the lore, whilst Floyd's place in all of that was excellent. Teeth's backstory was pretty interesting. The character was great until they put him in a relationship with the old woman and they start a YouTube channel. And then it just all falls apart. Janice once again was good at the start, being spiritual and all that. Then they made her this cult leader at the end, which is just kind of creepy and weird. Zoot, despite having the least lines, literally got the most laughs throughout the series, and for that he's got to be my favourite. As for the human characters, Taj Mowry literally carries this thing as Moog. Like, he's got high energy, bounces off the Muppets, and unlike the others, doesn't sound like he's reading the script. And having had no idea who Lily Singh was prior to this, I've since pieced together that Nora's character is just Lily Singh. I mean, they didn't even change her second name. Initially I thought her acting was fine, if a little dull, but whenever the script asks anything more of her, like screaming or being emotional, she just can't do it. To contrast, in the 2011 film, Jason Segel has to sing and dance and do all these ridiculous things, but the comedic beats work because he's a good actor. If you don't have the range to pull all that stuff off, it just comes across as cringy, and that is the last thing on earth you want a show to be. Nora's supposed to be the straight man that keeps the band together, but comes across as rude and dislikable, constantly driving the band apart. And despite this, every other character is drawn to her like a magnet. The Mayhem can't go on without her, her sister apparently needs her, whilst JJ and Moog end up fighting over her, and she's done nothing but treat them both like crap. So I found myself asking, why? Why are these characters so drawn to Nora? Because I'm not. The side characters of JJ and the old woman started off as characters you thought you understood, but by the end it's like, what even are they anymore? The sister was just a nicer version of Nora, but exists purely to be a social media influencer, and it's the online / social media / hip and trendy stuff that just killed the show. That stuff should just never have been allowed within a mile of the Muppets, and I'm amazed that it was.
Little monsters, prepare to attack! I wish I'd never been born!
I'm left wondering if different members of the creative team worked on the first 4 episodes, because some of that was the best Muppets we've had since the theatrical films. From the musical beats to Animal at the Job Centre and Janice being allergic to lies and Zoot's comedy timing. But then episode 5 onwards was like I'd just had some out of date marshmallows, because the whole thing just takes a nosedive into the earth. And the producers really seem to get the Muppets. One of them is a Muppet, and that's clear from the first half of the series. So how this was allowed to happen, I have no idea. To summarise, as someone who's a fan of the Muppets, but ultimately just wanted to sit down and enjoy some telly, this went from, wow, this is surprisingly good, to this is literally unwatchable. Through some frankly awful acting and an obsession with Lily's sing and social media, made by people clearly out of touch with said social media, along with the usual trope of blowing the budget on celebrity cameos, apparently leaving nothing for the VFX. So unfortunately I wouldn't even say it's as good as the ABC series, but I feel like you could cut a load of these problematic scenes and you'd have a great Muppet movie in there somewhere. Anyway, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It's going to be an interesting one considering the sort of rave reviews. But honestly, after watching the series, I just wanted to vent all my thoughts onto 12 pages of script apparently. So thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.